You listen to lo-fi hip hop again?
Yup.
Yup.
What, you want me to
It's like
play
the
heavy
same-
metal on Twitch?
It's like the
Is
same
that it?
piano song.
What?
It's like the same piano song that I always hear.
I mean, there's only so many no copyright songs you can play, and then just have it not be like heavy metal or EDM. Alright, hopefully this is better with echo if I was echoing.
I can hear your echo.
Oh my gosh. Where are you? Were you kidnapped?
I was kidnapped. No, I had to do some really weird stuff to make live captioning work. So, hold on.
Oh my god.
I'll take over moderator for today. If this is going to be the case.
Sounds like you're, using a walkie-talkie.
Yep, it's like, over. I'm down the tunnel. Over.
Exactly. The eagle has landed.
I gotta be honest though, I wish I got to see you at BlackHat Amigo.
Bro, it's so good not to go, and
I know.
it sucks also. You know what I mean?
It's like the
Hopefully not.
FOMO,
Especially
and
when
then
it's
it's like
an
the
annual meet up with everybody. And
Alright, hopefully echo's gone now.
I'm pretty sure the last time I saw you was with you, me, and Bosco were hanging out. Remember that?
Yep, that was the last time I can remember us hanging out together.
For real.
I was hoping to like punch some boxes with Owen, but we were just so busy with everything going on. So
Did you go to booth and hang out and do all that stuff, or with the OffSec folks, or were you out doing other stuff?
I was at the booth for like a whole day, or like 2 days, basically just
damn.
trying to support people and help our sales team talk to people
Sweet.
technically. So, and it was good overall. It was a positive turnout, I'd say. But I mean, going to other booths though, I was like, who told you that you should pay $1 million to have a cartoon statue of a Russian APT?
Oh, dude, some of the stuff.
Like, then there's Cyber Reason, like 100% resilience, 100% visibility, 100% secure, and I'm like, who told marketing that they should have made this?
Oh, TJ, I went to this conference one time. It was like all of the industrial security stuff that is for sale. For
Yeah.
organization. Have you gone to that one?
I haven't gone to something like that, but I have gone to
Oh my
it.
god! If you think like BlackHat and DefCon are huge, this thing will blow that stuff out of the water.
Okay,
They
we can compare this
Yeah,
because I've been to AWS reInvent, and that's probably the biggest conference I've ever been to.
Okay, so like this one, they had displays out there where you could walk on gravel and stuff as if you were approaching a building, and it would show you how it would detect it and all of that kind of stuff. It was insane.
Alright, how am I sounding?
I have to remember what that
Still in a
conference
tunnel.
was.
Really? Ah, that's unfortunate. All right, I'll let you run it, DJ.
It's better. It's way better though. A lot better.
I was just kidding. You're way better. You got this.
All right, cool. All right, we'll give it a few more minutes since I think OffSec Live is finishing up over on Zoom. For now, I think we're just talking about BlackHat and DefCon and stuff. So
Yeah, I'd say the biggest conference I've been to so far has been AWS reInvent, and they have 150,000 people, and they stretch across 4 hotels in the Vegas Strip.
Hmm.
And the vendor
Yeah.
area is like 4 times the size of BlackHat, and it's in the Venetian.
Yeah, this one was in Orlando, and it was paired up with ISC was part of it. I'm trying to remember what it was, but the room was like enormous, enough where they could set up like fences and whatever, and you could walk in it, and it would show you how it would detect your movements and stuff for like super secure buildings. It was nuts. I'll find it.
Have you guys seen the picture of like the group just hanging out together with Owen just staring off into the distance?
Was that in the BlackHat? Was that in the Slack channel?
No, I'll find you and send it to you. It's just like it's a meme waiting to happen because it's like
Oh yeah,
10
just show
people
me and I'll make it happen. Yeah.
10 people just having a great time and then one dude off in the corner just like. And you know how like in those hotel rooms like the curtains never quite work, so he had to kind of like stand in the curtain, like make an extra effort to be like off on his
I wish I
own.
remember what I was talking about because I look so engaging.
Oh yeah, everyone is just like very interested in what you have to
Keaton and
say.
Owen's like, I don't want to
Oh,
listen.
oh, this picture, because I remember. I think I know which one you're talking about. Is it for this year?
Yeah.
Because I think we were
Yeah,
going
yeah,
through
yeah.
I think we were going through the feedback stuff, and that's when Harv had his he was
No,
recording
no,
it,
no.
or not that
There's
one.
less people. There's less people in the room, so it can't be that. I think it was before you arrived there.
Oh, okay.
all right, why don't we go ahead and get started? People will trickle in or they won't. We'll see. All right, everyone, if this is your first time joining us, welcome to our OffSec Office Hour. This is your opportunity to ask our panelists of staff any questions you might have about blog posts, latest announcements, courses, career advice, career opportunities, whatever it may be. If we can answer it, we will. We have staff joining us from various departments, everything from content dev to student mentors to community management. I got yelled at in terms of having everyone introduce themselves. So everyone here is just a janitor. I'm your host, Falcon Spy, and if you'd like, you can ask your question over on Discord or Twitch. We are recording these now, so if you'd like, they're on Twitch, and then they will be uploaded to YouTube after. We do have live captioning over on Twitch if you are unable to listen for any reason. So we'll go ahead and get started. So how should someone get started in bug bounty?
Pick a site, find bugs, report bugs. It's a little bit tongue in cheek, but that's really where you're gonna start.
It depends on where you're starting from, doesn't it? I mean, it's the answer to we get some version of this question a lot, and sometimes it's how do you get started in pen testing? How do you get started in bug bounties? How do you get started in exploit dev? And the answer is always like it just depends on you, and it depends on what you're coming to the table with. You know, where's the start line?
All right. it's this is probably just a it depends kind of answer, but for someone who's been looking at the XP 301 course for quite some time, is it worth getting?
If it's worth
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
do it.
super defense. It's worth it if it furthers your career goals or if it's something that you're interested in. If you want to learn more about exploit development and reverse engineering, and you don't already know that stuff, then yeah, it's for you.
All right, this question is over on Discord. Who decided to start the "Oh my God, it's TJ Null" Twitter handle for BlackHat and DefCon?
If
We're
someone
looking at you,
knows,
TJ.
because I'm still trying to figure it out, let me know, and I may have a bribe.
What we're supposed to refer to you as the slippery nerd now due to that account. So
I don't know who made it. All I know is it was actually made before ShmooCon. Or sorry, before Black Hat. It was actually started at ShmooCon. So someone that I met at ShmooCon did it. I must have upset somebody.
all right. Our next question here. What have we all been up to this summer? For what projects or what in general have we been up to?
Did anybody go anywhere? I haven't gone anywhere yet. I haven't done
I went to Nollins.
Oh, NOLA?
Yep, had some really good food. Did that. Just been doing projects otherwise.
BlackHat and
About it.
DefCon.
I crashed a Vespa and have been yeah, it was fun.
Was it?
Luckily they don't go very fast. And so I've been rebuilding that.
I'm
like-
amazed that you drive such a thing where you live. That amazes me.
Why?
I trust zero people
Oh, because the
in
drivers are
your
stupid.
vicinity. Yes.
So the drivers out here are horrible, and part of the crash is a result of that. The piston seized, and so it's like somebody slams on the brakes, and I was going like 50 in traffic, and I was like, I'm gonna get run over. Like my first thought was like, one of these cars is gonna hit me, and so I put it in the ditch. uh, to avoid getting hit by a car.
Was this the Vespa that you just got?
Well, yeah, I mean, I got it. I got it last. I pulled it out of a barn in November last year. So I just got it up running, and then I blew it up. Uh, that's how it goes. That's what I've been up to.
Hey, I got COVID. Is that something to
Oh
share?
yeah,
Yeah,
very
it was
on
gnarly.
theme.
It was gnarly, I say. So I had a booster shot. I didn't get my second booster. Was about to plan to, and I got it, and it was weird feeling. Like generally I get this like my throat start tingling, and then start having running nose, then start coughing, and fever comes in. That's generally my body behavior. But this one, I was just constantly coughing, and the next day, my body just dropped, like headache, fatigueness, tiresome. It's just complete different experience. Fortunately, didn't have any like breathing problems or respiratory problems. That was kind of good things. I could still sense a smell. That was good, but it was pretty brutal. I want to say. Even I was COVID negative after all the many test results. I was still very fatigued, and it didn't take me about a month or so to kind of recover. So that's my summer.
All right. We'll go to our next question here. How should someone approach the Proving Grounds labs? There's times where they are completely stuck and have to turn to walkthroughs, which they are doing what they can to avoid them. What else should they be doing when it comes to approaching machines in proving grounds, and we could probably extrapolate that to just anything in general whenever it comes to the OCP labs, penetration testing. What should someone do?
I think there's a few strategies you can employ that are not turning to walkthroughs. Turning to walkthroughs is in my opinion, at least, the last resort, because once you know the answer, you can't go back to not knowing it. And part of the magic happens when you go from not knowing it to knowing it on your own, right? So what are some things you can do? Number one, you can just move on to a different box. Just giving your mind something else to do can A, just give you space, and sometimes that's all you need, and B, you might learn things on other machines that you can apply either directly or indirectly backwards. Another thing you can do is set time for yourself. So let's say you're working on this machine and you're going to say, okay, I'm only going to work on it, 1 hour per session or 1 hour per day or whatever it is. And for the rest of the time, I'm going to learn about technology that's related to the machine. So let's say you're working on you're working on a web machine and it's running Apache. So you might take some time to read about Apache and make sure that you understand everything that is surrounding it and the machine specifics. So you're not necessarily directly working on the box all the time and sort of getting frustrated with it, but you're taking time to just increase your knowledge base. And the last thing that I will say is do things that are not pen testing or working on any machines. Like get up, go away from the machine, go away from the computer. I know it's sacrilegious to say, but so many times have I been working on something and I'd go outside and I'd come back and just the action of like going out and throwing a baseball around would be enough to sort of prompt me in the right direction. But try to be disciplined and don't try to just refuse to look at walkthroughs unless like you've gone through 50 out of 51 boxes and it's the last one left and like that's all you have left to do. But there should be a lot of work for you to be able to do without resorting to the walkthroughs.
No one believes that you throw a baseball around.
Why not? So I'm Canadian.
Maybe hockey puck, but
during my OSCE, I was really frustrated and really stuck, and I went outside and I took a baseball with me and I just walked around the block throwing it up in the air. And I got to the park and I like angrily threw the ball as hard as I could against the fence. And when I went to pick it up, I was like, oh, that's what I got to do. And I got home and I got the well, I guess I can say it now because the exam doesn't exist. It was an AV bypass. So yep, throw a baseball.
I see the connection.
All right. Our next question here is the Pen 200 exam. Are you able to use a fresh Kali VM when it comes to the Pen 200 exam, or can you use one that you've used beforehand?
I think there really is a preference. You can use both.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I see pros and cons, right? If you do a fresh VM image, right, there's nothing legacies. It's completely clean. You don't have to. But if you already have tool sets that kind of help you a little bit, it can help. So it all depends on personal preference.
All right. For someone who is about to receive a Learn Unlimited subscription, what's the best way to get the usage out of that subscription for the full 1 year?
It's a very good question. Like many of our other answers, it's going to be it depends. It really depends what your goals are. In this case, are you looking to become certified in one or a bunch of courses? Are you looking to increase your knowledge breadth rather than depth? Are you particularly interested in a given track? There are many use cases, and it really depends on what you want to get out of it.
Yeah, I kind of want to just add a little bit. I completely agree with Jeremy what you said. If you're interested in Pen 100, if you OSCP, we do have an assessment for fundamental, and that might be a good track in terms of just checking to see where you are, in terms of your skills level, kind of gauge whether if you're ready for Pen 200. If you're not, maybe try 100 first. Go through that, and then go through 200. Really, again, goes back to in terms of what you want to do. If you're looking in terms of doing SOC, then go through a SOC. If you want to do web, you can go through web. So it's really kind of in terms of what areas you're interested in. I do say this: whatever it is, and this is what we have seen, is jump on it. Don't wait until jump on it, work on go through the material, go through the lab, because the time goes by pretty fast. Before you know it, you're like 6 months in, you haven't worked on the lab. That's kind of one key advice: is just start working on get on the lab environment.
It's a great question because it indicates that you're already aware of the of what's ahead of you. Obviously, the advantage with that particular license is you can do whatever you want. The downside is you can do whatever you want. So you make a plan. Spend some time and actually make a plan and figure out your year and where you want to be and how you want to spend that time, and then do your best to stick to the plan.
All right. Anyone else, or we'll go to our next question?
Hey, just letting you know I snuck in here.
Run.
Well, you didn't sneak in if you're announcing it. That was basically stealth is optional.
Wait a second. All these years I've been doing it so damn wrong. Like every time I try to break in somewhere, I'm like, "Hey guys, by the way, I'm breaking in." Yeah, I guess I didn't realize. That's very helpful.
All right, our next question here. How much value or weight do we put on making tools or scripts for ourselves? In terms of something very important that someone does, or do you guys think that it's a bonus and not a major requirement?
I'm gonna say
Like the only way to live.
yeah, I feel like I've used the words "it depends" way too much already, but really it does. But this time it's more specific. So if you're at the 200 level, in general, we're not really expecting scripts to be made. Most of the scripting required is already pre-done, or is 1 to 2 to 3 lines of code. At the 300 level, then those courses are about developing your own tools and scripts. In many cases, Web 300, Pen 300, EXP 301, all of those are about how do you take the material and modify it to a particular use case through script. So depends what level you're at. But for Robert, it's a way of life.
Amen to that.
All right, our next question. What's it like working at OffSec?
For Robert, it's a way of life.
It's a bunch of scripts.
Jeremy, I'm surprised you didn't say it depends.
Oh yeah, that would have been on the nose.
It does. We used to, when we interviewed people 3 years ago and 4 years ago, the weird thing about working at OffSec is that we were 100% remote back then. That's obviously the interviews that we do now. It seems like a lot more people have had a lot more experience with working remotely. So that used to be, we used to be, I feel like, kind of the outlier there. And it's probably the most unique thing about working at OffSec is that we're totally dispersed. I gotta be real careful because my boss is on the call now. TJ, you lied to me, TJ.
I'm waiting
about what? Oh,
yeah. I was waiting for you to say that the best thing is working with Jim. I thought that was going to be an obvious first thing out of your mouth. You didn't go there. I'm crushed. I don't know that I'll ever recover.
I'll be honest. I could say something to be honest. the reason why I wanted to work at OffSec was to work with all of you guys, and Got Milk was the one that brought me into the attention of, hey, are you interested in working OffSec? And I was like, heck yeah, it's been a dream since high school. And then Jim was the one that brought me in, and I can't thank him enough for giving me the opportunity to be here to work with all you smart people.
See, he knows how to suck up.
I'm just being honest.
That was really good.
I'm just being honest. I mean, I looked up to all you guys. I mean, Jim, especially with the books that you always write, or at least were part of. Like the Metasploit book you wrote with Dave Kennedy, being in the Kali Linux Reveal book. I was.
Man, you're just laying it on.
No. It gets even funnier.
It just keeps going.
No. It gets funnier. I was looking through some of the BlackHat data, and I found, where is it? There's a description that they put for Jim, and I thought it was hilarious. Let me see if I can find it. I have it here. No, that's not the one. Where is it? It's here. They called Jim no, not this one. God dang it, where is it? I don't know. It was like they called Jim like he's the knowledge or the knower of like the gopher of websites before websites existed.
No, actually, like that. I remember the description you're talking about. There. So I'm going to.
What
make
did that
myself sound
mean?
stupid here. So here's what it is: back in the day, my internet connection was only through a terminal. You didn't have PPP and slip connections and stuff like that. When over a modem, you just connect into the internet, and everything would be through a terminal. And I think it was like Z-Term on the Mac back in the day, and you used Gopher all the time, and you used Archie and Veronica to search for in Gopher, but Gopher was the way. And then the web came about, and initially the web sucked. There was no content on there. It was like, what's the difference between this and Gopher? This doesn't make any sense. Why does anyone give two craps about this? All these people are getting so excited about something that's so dumb. The web is never going to take off. Gopher is the way. And look how right I was. How many people on the call even really know what Gopher is, much less have used it. So it's not necessarily a testament of me being smart. It's more along the lines of how you can totally misread something because your perspective, in this case my connection, was just over a slip connection, and in that over a terminal connection. But once I got a slip connection and I had like native IP on my desktop, and then I could use Mosaic, that was completely better than Gopher. And there was a lot of different advantages, but
Yes, I got the words here. It said you have been online from the days Gopher sites outnumbered websites.
Yeah, it makes me sound really old, but yes, I started very young on this stuff.
Oh my
Right,
gosh,
I
me
don't
and Jesus doing dial-up together.
We were on the same BBS. It was an Amiga BBS. We ran a Wildcat server. We spent a lot of time setting up ASCII art for the login screen.
You could easily be making up all these words, and I wouldn't know.
Same.
Playing lemonade stand.
Should we? Does anyone else want to take a crack at what it's like to work here at OffSec? Otherwise, we'll move on to some of our other questions.
Mr. Get Back on
My
Track.
story.
Do not bow down anymore.
Does anybody else want a raise or just TJ?
I'm already capped. But I do it to enjoy. But I do it to be here for you guys. That's what matters.
Going
I think
once.
other than that,
Shout out to Tristan though, on this barbecue picture. Oh my God, I'm actually dying.
Hey,
All right,
boss,
well,
can we let
now-
Waitan speak?
No, it's
Yeah.
okay.
I want to
done.
hear
I'm
Waitan's
done.
story.
I'm done. No, my story is boring though. That's the thing.
I still want to
You
hear
guys.
it.
Well, I would just say
Go
that.
ahead, Waitan.
No.
I wanna hear it.
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the barbecue. That looks really good too. So.
All right,
I
we'll do
lost
the
my train of
transition to the
thought.
barbecue thing. I was gonna wait till the end.
No.
All right.
We got to hear what he says. I want to hear it.
Well, one thing is just
Go ahead.
God, now it's like now the pressure's on me. It's just that's so awkward now. Anyways, but I really say is we're so diverse. I mean, we have teammate coworkers across across the world, and I think really diversely knowing different type of cultures. We get to work folks in Indonesia, South Africa, just all different areas. Just knowing them, get to know the people that I didn't even get an opportunity if I was to work at a company somewhere in California, for example. But it's that's one thing I really enjoy the most.
Right. Anyone else? I guess we'll go to this barbecue plug since it was mentioned. All right. So, one of our Discord community mods here, Tristram, who really loves Diablo, decided to put together a barbecue challenge / event. So here on, I believe, Discord, if you have a barbecue recipe or things that you really like to make on the grill, share it with us and you have a chance to win some swag.
I don't know how to make them. I know how to eat them. That's my specialty.
Speaking of
I
barbecue,
suggest
I
you
literally
get
just got
into it as soon as possible. Then
Yeah, you need to get it together.
I just got my Rectech grill after TJ convinced me to get it, but I haven't set it up
About
yet.
damn time.
Yeah, I know.
wait, what kind of grill is this?
It's a pellet smoker. TJ can probably talk more about it,
But it's not a Traeger.
No,
It's not Traeger.
Ooh.
I also hyped up Jim and Ning about it when we were at BlackHat.
You could just, if you're just like starting off, I would just like figure out a good marinade and figure out like get a handle on like grilling. And then you can like level up from there.
Where is this coming from?
All right, let's go ahead and go to our next question here, since been trying to keep us on track. Referring to the learn one question from a little bit earlier, in terms of progression, is it best to go, Pen 100, Pen 200, Pen 210, Pen 300? What's the best way to tackle a certain track, or does it make sense to jump around?
Again, we play the it depends game. So if you were just starting out, then your first suggestion is excellent. I would start with Pen 100. As Will mentioned before, there's a Pen 100 assessment, and that kind of assessment will be available for other tracks eventually. And if you do that assessment, it'll tell you if you are considered ready for the next level, right? So for Pen 200 in this case. If you're interested in pen testing, then Pen 200 is really the center point, and you can start there. And if you find that it's not making sense, it's too hard, and there's too much background knowledge you're missing, then you can jump backwards and go to Pen 100. From Pen 200, the most natural place to go is Pen 300, but a lot of people say, hey, no, I'm really interested in web, so they go to Web 300 rather. And others say, no, I want to do exploit development, and they go to EXP 301. So any of those options are there for you. Pen 210 is a bit of an outlier if you're interested in wireless pen testing, in particular breaking Wi-Fi, then that's there and it's available for you. But most students who are like, I want to do the pen testing track won't necessarily do that one. So that one's really like if that has particular interest to you, then jump into it. And I think the same can be said about the other tracks as well. The progression from Web 100 to 200 to 300 is very similar.
All right, so let's say someone's worked through the labs, most of them, and for whatever reason they didn't particularly pass their first exam attempt, or it might be some other exam attempt that they need to go take. Is it worth for them to re-up their lab time by getting a lab extension, or what should someone do if they failed and they're looking to potentially buy more lab time?
I think I don't want to answer it depends on everything. I will say this. Now, whether it's correlation or causation, or it's just two numbers that exist in proximity. We do know that students who complete more lab machines tend to be more successful on the exam. You can, take that for what it's worth. We see the pass rate jump pretty dramatically from students who have done 0 to 2 or 3 lab machines versus students who have done just a whole bucket of them. But ultimately, I don't know. I don't, not a useful office hour if we just answer it depends on everything.
I think that was a really good answer though. That's right. Like the more machines you do, the better off you'll be. I'll also throw a plug in for the topic exercises. Those are available for all the 100 level content, as well as SOC 200, Web 200, and Pen 200. If you haven't done those, going back to do those to really make sure that you understand the foundations of the course are really useful too.
All right, moving on. Were any of us at DEF CON this year? If so, how was it? TJ?
Packed. it was definitely packed. I think Dark Tangent said there was like a total of 25,000 people that attended the conference this year. They had some new stuff that they added that I thought was pretty cool. But overall, it was like day one was just trying to get in the lines for villages, and some of the lines were like over an hour long just to wait. It's kind of annoying, but hopefully DEF CON will adjust that, especially with the space that they got in the Caesars Forum. But other than that, it was great to really connect with a lot of people that I wanted to catch up with and see. Also meeting a lot of new people. But I think the downside of being at such a big conference is that you can't catch up with everyone that you want to see. So there will be people that you will miss that you don't get to see. But overall, like I said, fun experience. Just hope in the future that I'll have more time to be able to meet some people, catch up with them, or also spend some quality time in the villages that I really wanted to do. So, but yeah, that's my perspective. I know you went, Falcon. How was it for you?
So that was my first time at DEF CON ever. I liked it. It was definitely, as you said, pretty packed, and there was a lot to do. There was some disappointing talks that I went to, some good talks that I went to. Some disappointing aspects of trying to like attend some of the villages and their activities or workshops that they were doing, because they were either at capacity, fully booked, or it was just a madhouse trying to get at like the activity, right? So if you want to do like create honey pots at the packet hacking village, those were pretty much always booked. Or if you wanted to do lock picking, good luck. Pretty much every single lock pick that they had there and all the tools were pretty much already being taken up by someone else. So if you want to do it, you basically had to bring your own materials, if in terms of lock picking. But it was good. Met up with a lot of people from the community. Met up with some other people that I knew. It was a good time.
My favorite talk, I gotta add this too, was seeing the guy break into the John Deere microcontroller and put Doom on it and actually play Doom. Like the best thing ever.
I like how Crisis used to be like the top of the line in terms of like, can your computer handle it graphically, and now like Doom is like the lowest side of it. Like, where can we put Doom? All right, we'll go ahead and move on here. Can an individual use Attack Forge framework throughout the Pen 200 to generate their reports?
I think Attack Forge is a paid tool, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't know that we've ever discussed automatic report generation.
I don't think we have.
I don't know. I don't know if it's come up. Will Crotan, have we? Is that a thing?
No, that's a good one. I don't think this is something we'll probably have to look into in terms of it. Yeah, no, this is
I think, like,
no, protein. Yeah, go ahead.
Right now, I would say, like, there's nothing in our current rule set that forbids it, but it's something that we should think about. And
Yeah.
All right. Our next question is the Penn 103 exam a good indicator of how the Penn 200 exam will be, but only in a much shorter time?
no, Penn 301 is a multiple choice exam. It's the only of our multiple choice exams. So it is the antithesis of what Penn 200 is, which is a fully hands-on network of X amount of machines that you need to hack. The Penn 100 assessment is a little bit closer in that you have actions to perform on machines, and so it's hands-on. But in Penn 100, you're not hacking the machines. You're doing certain tasks like manipulating permissions or finding files or doing regex, things like that. So it'll give you a good indication of like the kind of motions you need to make, but it won't be like Penn 200.
All right. Our next question here. Someone had recently interviewed for a penetration testing role, and they've made it to the second round of interviews in their track for getting into this position. When presented at the second phase, they were given a practical assessment, and they learned, or they are using things that they've learned from their OCP journey. And they're able to identify 2 cross-site scripting vulnerabilities and a local file inclusion. There's a lot to say in this one. All right.
Trying to help him get a job?
Yeah, it seems like they're trying to get a job. So I'll just read the whole thing real quick rather than trying to paraphrase. But so I had an interview recently for a pen test role. I made it to the second round interview stage. In the second round phase, the team presented me with a practical assessment. Using what I've learned in the OCP prep, I was able to identify 2 cross-site scripting vulnerabilities and 1 local file inclusion. Length of engagement was about 1 hour long. After the assessment, I thought I had nailed the interview. The feedback from the job interviewer was that there was lower vulnerabilities that I glossed over and did not identify. They also advised getting more practice with Burp Suite. The interview was a shared screen session via Teams, and they could have seen what I did. This individual manually identified the cross-site scripting vulnerabilities and used Burp Suite to identify the directory traversal vulnerability, or the LFI. What do you think from this feedback based on the situation explained above?
I would have to sit down and read that. That was a
That's
bit
a lot.
much.
Yeah, that might be a question we just answer in the text at a later point in time. So in the interest of time, we'll move on, and then hopefully someone will answer that in the text channel for CyberSec. All right, our next question: how important is lower risk vulnerabilities versus that of a medium to high risk?
Context. You'll something low or medium, either by an automated tool or somebody has determined what that is. And an automated tool doesn't know it or understand the environment, right? That's why you have a CVSS calculator. So you have a vulnerability, you apply what is present or not present in the environment, and then you get what is, the actual severity. Then and only then does it make sense to understand what is the context of the risk of a vulnerability. But looking at a vuln scanner and saying, "Oh, it's a low," is not really a security assessment.
All right, our next question, probably it depends, but is it worth going through the Pen 200 course if you work in AppSec?
Yes.
Would you like to elaborate more, TJ?
No, it's just a straightforward answer of yes. I mean, if you're looking like to understand, how software vulnerabilities work, how to be able to exploit the different systems, and how your software ties to, those specific services, then yeah, it's a course I totally recommend for people who are application sec engineers.
Awesome. All right. What's our suggestion for note-taking tools? This is going to be a loaded question for sure.
I can go first. I personally like to use Joplin for a variety of things. More importantly, like it's an open source note taking tool. And it's got Markdown support and it has the ability to sync my notes in real time for other people to see. I wish it had a collaboration feature, but I think there's something coming for that in the future. But unlike other note taking tools out there, it's really easy for me to take my templates that I have and take them with me on assessments into like certain environments where I don't have internet access, and I can go through the information that's on there. So, oh, and then the one thing that's really nice about it is that you can take the information that you have from your notes or your findings, and it automatically adds them into the report for you. You just have to write a command that's able to do that.
I like to use Google Wave. I'm kidding. That thing died a while ago. I originally started with Cherry Tree. And now I like to use Obsidian. So I think the two big ones out there are Obsidian and and Joplin. Sorry, but there's a lot of different frameworks that you can use to help with report writing. But best suggestion, really, it depends. There's plenty out there. It depends on how you would like to take the notes. Do you like Markdown? Do you like standard text editors? Do you like Notepad? So it really just depends on what angle you're looking for. There's different frameworks like the Dratus framework, which is included in Kali, but if you want to actually export your report, I believe you have to pay. There's the Pen Test Workshop website. I know that's similar to the Dratus framework, but there's a lot of different things out there. Anyone else want to take a crack at that, or we'll go to our next question?
Note taking? No, nothing.
All right.
You don't want to go over your unholy contraption, Robert?
Yeah, and for those of you that don't attend on a regular basis, I do a lot of stuff out of the command line, and I use the script command to record my terminals, and then high-level notes in like a notepad.
All right. Our next question here. Would we trust the hypervisor's security to have your personal data, notes, docs on a host or what? So I'm trying to understand the question here. So as operators, when it comes to developing VMs or running VMs, would we trust the hypervisor's security features to contain anything like personal data, notes, or docs on the host where the VM is, or at least the VM guest itself, or should we use the PC hardware to contain lab data only? I'm not sure that question was worded very well for someone to answer. Does someone want to take a crack at it? Otherwise, I think we'll move on.
I did not grok that at all.
All right, we will move on. If whoever submitted that question would like to reword it over on Discord, since that's where it came in from, please do so if you'd like that answered. Otherwise, it looks like we're all caught up on our questions for now. We do have about 10 minutes left in our office hour here. So if there were some questions that were asked and we missed it, please re-ask them. Or if we potentially also skipped over it because we've answered it one too many times in previous office hours. All right, here's our question. Any advice for taking the proctored tests during degree studies? So I guess what are some good do's and don'ts during a proctored exam?
Don't use all 24 hours to take your exam. Make sure you take breaks.
Well, I don't know if this is asking, are you asking about the OSCP proctored exam or just in general about proctored exams during like a university course or something like that that requires them? Because those may be different. They may be
General, it seems.
Yeah. So
don't cheat.
I'll say this because I have done a bunch of these and I tend to do okay. And there's obviously like an additional pressure of being like in a room and being monitored. And there's all these like mechanisms in place to make sure that you don't cheat. I tend to take the first 4 to 5 minutes of the exam time to do absolutely nothing. Just like be calm, like center yourself, like figure out what you want to do, and in as much as you can maintain control of that environment, right? Because it's all these things outside of your control. It 90% of the work is in prep, but if you can, sorry, 5-year-olds are shooting me with Metroid lasers in the background here. If you can do what you can to like preserve and feel like you're in control of that test environment, that's going to help with your just anxiety level during the exam.
I think we can probably just extrapolate exam taking in general. So like what's everyone's process when it comes to reducing anxiety or trying to keep themselves calm when taking exam, regardless of whether it's for a certification, just a standard test that you're taking for a class, whatever it may be?
I don't. And the reason I don't is because nervous energy helps me. So if I have some kind of nerves or anxiety, I use that to stay focused.
I think one thing worth saying about the proctored exams in particular is that if your nerves and anxiety is coming from the fact that there's a proctor and you aren't like Robert and going to like turn that into positive energy of some kind, then it's worth considering the fact that the proctors have done this many, 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 many times. This is their job. This is what they do day in, day out. And so they like there's no like feeling on their part of like, oh, haha, I'm like getting to watch somebody. Like they're professional and they're very good at what they do. They will always be courteous. So be courteous back to them, and you can engage with them in a short conversation, start your exam, make yourself feel a little bit better. They're just a person on the other side. That's all.
All right, another follow-up for the proctoring, but more specific to our exams, and then we'll go to another question after that on Twitch. Are there any specific do's and don'ts while on camera with our proctors, like checking your phone? Are there any guidelines on what should be done? Weitan, Protean. Bueller.
Sorry, 1 second. Hold on. What was the? Can you rephrase the question? Can you repeat the question again?
Sure. When it comes to our proctored exams, are there any do's and don'ts while on camera, such as checking your phone? What are some of the general guidelines someone should abide by while taking our exams, as the proctor is, making sure they're not cheating?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely do recommend for using your phone. Just avoid any suspicious activity if you can. Just as a common practice. If you do need to take a break, just inform the proctor that you need to take a break and take the phone outside. We'll pause the exam environment. Other than that, just use a lot of common sense best practices from that standpoint. And then if you have any questions, please do reach out to the proctoring and they can help you out as well.
They will also walk you through whatever you got to do when you're taking the exam. And I think we do have a guide that I can post if I can find it.
Yeah.
All right, our next question here. Are there any chances that we will increase the exam time to 48 hours for machines and 24 hours to write reports for the OCP exam?
It's not currently something we're discussing. We haven't gotten much feedback that the exam, at least actually, I won't say that. Will and Protean, I don't think that we've received much feedback regarding exam length, but if I'm wrong about that, please correct me. If I am right, then I guess we would wait to hear more feedback like yours. I'd love to hear why you think that would be useful and necessary, and chat more about it.
Yeah, not on the radar. Now, there are times when, you may have experienced intermittent connectivities, and it just happens, right? For network reasons, and do reach out in terms of the team and challenges, and we'll figure out in terms of trying to compensate some exam time, but extending out to full, we haven't really encountered from that. But kind of going back to what Harmon said, it'd be worth it, interesting to find out under your ask.
All right, our next question over on Twitch. I think this pertains to OffSec Live, but while logged into the portal account on our website and watching OffSec Live, is there a way for someone to do a picture-in-picture? So as soon as they hover over the icon, it disappears. Basically, someone wants to be able to take notes while watching OffSec Live, and have them kind of just side by side.
I think that this will be a great feedback. We'll collect that information and we'll submit it into our development team and have them to review.
All right. I think we have time for a few more questions here, as we're almost at the top of our hour here. So it looks like our question from earlier about hypervisors was reworded. So would you place personal data on a hypervisor host where you have vulnerable VMs? Basically, does it make sense to have two different physical machines where one can have personal data on just to run, and then the other one where they have their vulnerable VMs? Do we trust the hypervisors?
Oh, I think I follow now. You're asking if you have a machine at home and you want to put vulnerable machines on it now, and you want to start hacking away at stuff, but you also want notes unrelated to security or pen testing, just personal stuff on your computer, would you trust the hypervisor to be secure such that your personal stuff is safe? For me, no. I have a machine just dedicated to security stuff and another for my own personal use, and those are separate.
I agree.
Awesome. All right. So I don't see any more questions, so we'll give this another quick shout out. We do have our event going on over on Discord. We have a barbecue challenge. So if you are into barbecuing or grilling, take some pictures of your creations, post the recipes over in the Foods and Recipes channel over on Discord. You have a chance to win some swag, but in general, you may also learn some new recipes or things to do if you'd like to grill or barbecue anything.
Can I be a judge on that?
I'll defer to Tristram on that since he's the one running it, but I would say sure. But yeah, with that being said, thank you everyone who joined us on Discord and Twitch for our office hour. We hold these every week. We hope to see you next week. If we didn't get to answer your question this week, or we accidentally skipped over it, or we purposely skipped over it, feel free to ask next week, and we'll try to answer it there. Or you can message us on Discord, and if we have an opportunity, we will answer it. If we can. So thank you everyone who's joined us, and we will see you next week.
See y'all. Take care.
Thank you.
Hi, guys.